Hi guys, I'm coming to you in Elemental Enchanted Coven to bring you the 7 Gates release ritual. And why I think this is important, with all the shadow work that we've been doing with Georgia, we did Shadow Love in October. If you're in our subscription, we've moved to Shadow Alchemy, and for 12 weeks? Well, it's been every 2 weeks, so like the past 24 weeks we've been working with the dark goddesses and elemental enchantments. And I just thought this second week in Shadow Alchemy, in Shadow Alchemy, she's been bringing the dark goddesses into that work too. And in the second session is where she was referencing Inanna and Ereshkigal again. And what really was like a pivotal moment for me was the reference of Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth, and Ereshkigal, Queen of the Underworld, and how, Inanna wants to visit her sister Ereshkigal in the Underworld, so to do that, she has to travel and descend through the 7 gates of hell. And as she gets to each gateway, she has to release or relinquish or set down an important piece of something she associates with her identity. It was her crown, it was her robe, it was, I think, a sword. And as she's releasing each of these things, she gets to the underworld, and we realize that they're not just sisters, they're one and the same. Ereshkigal is Inanna, stripped of the masks, stripped of the layers, and it's the shadow self. Inanna is the light, Ereshkigal is the shadow. And I think of those as like archetypes within us, mirrors, teachers, truth tellers. This ritual that we're gonna do is like a way to piggyback on that and move what Georgia's been teaching into just an additional way to experience that alchemy, and work with that in real life, or work with that in ritual, I guess. So Inanna strips herself of everything at each of the 7 gates. Like, she has to let go of every mask, let go of everything that she identifies with, until she's naked and true and vulnerable. And that's what we're asked to do when we're doing that shadow work. So this ritual is our way of symbolically walking that same path, but we're going to do it gently, bravely, sovereignly, and with the support of each other in the coven. So what you need for this is 7 natural totems. These are going to represent your 7 adornments or 7 masks that we're going to shed. I'm using just 7 tumble pieces of shungite. So it could be twigs, it could be stones, crystals, feathers, whatever you got is just fine. An additional candle, I do have my space setting candle that I always light, but then I've got an additional candle that I'll use for ritual in your journal. Because obviously the journal is a big piece of the shadow work, because it really helps you to make sense of everything that we're doing as you look back and reflect on your journal. So let me take a minute to clear our space before we get started. Oops. I invite you to take a deep breath in and exhale. And on that exhale, really release any stagnant energy, anything that's holding you back, anything that no longer serves. And inhale and exhale. If you haven't, go ahead and light your candle. Anoint with moon water, essential oil, or whatever type of setting spray you like to work with, just to bring the 4 elements in. And we've got our crystals for earth. So as I cast this circle, I want you to feel into this protective boundary around you. really notice the circles surrounding you and your space. Notice the earth beneath you, the sky above you, and the light surrounding you. Close your eyes. Call to the guides and the guardians of the east, the element of air, for clarity and new beginnings. I call to the guides and the guardians of the south, the element of fire, for courage, for passion, for transformation. And I call to the guides and the guardians of the west, the element of water, for ease and flow and emotional healing. And I call to the guides and the guardians of the north, the element of earth, for peace, support, and perseverance. And as you sit with your eyes closed, feel into that protective boundary around you. Know that you are supported. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the skies above you. Notice your breath. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Let's feel into your energy. Feel into your crown chakra and notice your third eye. Drop to your throat, to your heart, from your heart to your solar plexus, from your solar plexus to your sacral, from your sacral into the earth, into your root and the earth. Now see before you 7 gates, each one inviting you to release something you've been carrying. It's a role, an expectation, maybe a fear, a mask, or a persona that's weighed you down. Gently open your eyes and pick up your first object. And as you hold that first object, I want you to feel into what adornment you're ready to release. What is this crystal or this feather or this stick? What are you ready to leave at the first gateway? Is it the need to be strong? Maybe perfectionism? Fear of being misunderstood? When you're ready, simply take that adornment and place the object before you in a different spot. And see yourself letting go of that piece. As you release it, say, I step through this gate and release whatever it is you release. Perfectionism. For me, I step through this gate and release perfectionism. Whatever you need to release, release it. And when you're ready, pick up your second adornment. step through this gate and I release people pleasing and set it with the first. And you can see where we're going with this. Pick up your third item as we approach the third gateway. Hold it and think of the third adornment you're ready to set down. I release. I step through this gate and I release the need to be strong. So finish that sentence for yourself. I step through this gate and I release. When you're ready, pick up your fourth adornment as you approach the fourth gateway. Identify what that adornment is for you. And when you're ready, say it with me or repeat after me. I step through this gate and release fear of being misunderstood, and set it with your first three pieces. And let's move to the fifth gateway. And at the fifth gateway, think of the fifth adornment you are ready to release. Pick up your stone or your totem. And when you're ready, feel into that adornment and say, I step through this gate and I release overgiving. Finish the sentence for yourself. And when you're ready, move to the sixth gateway. Hold your sixth adornment. Feel into that energy that you're ready to release. And when you're ready, say it with me. I step through this gate and I release. Finish the sentence for yourself. I release. Trying to hold it all together. Can you feel yourself becoming lighter? We have one gateway left. And with each stone we've released so far, you should be lighter, clearer, truer. Each gate brings you closer to the woman beneath the expectation, to the wild woman you were meant to be. And we have one gateway left. Approach this last gateway. Feel into the last adornment you're ready to set down. When you're ready, I step through this gate and release. For me, And feel the lightness in your authentic self with all of those layers shed as we went through 7 sacred gateways. When you're ready, pick up your candle and let's light it. And watch that flame. Watch it dance. Dance like the wild woman that you are. This is your inner fire. This is the part of you that never dims, even when walking through the darkness. You're just past that 7th gate. You're stripped of everything that was never yours to keep. I want you to see yourself now in your mind's eye. See yourself standing there, bare, honest, whole. You have nothing to hide. You have nothing to defend, nothing to prove, just your truth in an inner fire that glows no matter what. See your inner fire expanding. See your inner fire igniting throughout your whole authentic self, like a phoenix rising. This is the moment Ainana meets Eresh Kigal. Her shadow, her mirror, her deepest teacher. And this is the moment you meet the most authentic version of you. Breathe into it and live into it. And get out your journals and let's write while we're in this pure, authentic frame of mind. Even if you don't have your journal, just grab a scrap piece of paper while you're here in this space. And your first journal prompt. Who am I without the expectations placed on me? And write with no judgment. Who am I without the expectations placed on me? I am a goddess. I can lean into that all day long. That feels good. So who are you? With no judgment, whatever comes to you, just write it down. A fire goddess, a priestess, an alchemizer. I am strength. I am perseverance. And your second truth, your second prompt. What truth arises when everything else falls away? I'm stronger than I give myself credit for. I'm more powerful than I give myself credit for. I am more than I even realize. Write down whatever comes to you. if you are still writing, and that's perfectly fine if you are. If you're still writing, pause here and finish up, and then hit play and pick back up with us. But if you're ready, let's close out this ritual. Look at those words on your paper. That's who you are. With your hands to your heart, breathe in and imagine calling all parts of yourself back to you. The light, the shadow, even the pieces you've released. You may have set those adornments down, but they are still you. Call all parts back to you. Magic is learning how to alchemize it all, then carry it all together. The pieces you are reclaiming with the pieces you've released. Bring everything back home to your body. And say it with me. Like the phoenix, I rise sovereign. I rise whole. I rise completely and authentically myself. With grace in my heart and harm to none, this prayer is sealed. This work is done. That was fun. So I would think of these as ceremonial pieces that I would keep now somewhere. I'm not just going to throw these tumbles back in my tumble drawer. These are ceremonial pieces and they deserve a special spot. When you're ready, blow out your candle. No. Well, wait, whatever calls to you. Georgia talks about snuffing your candle out, but then it's Mercury retrograde, so she says go ahead and blow it out. I think this is representative of my inner fire that's burning, even though we're in Mercury retrograde, so I'm snuffing it. And with that, I release and give thanks to the guides and the guardians of the North for their peace, their protection. I release and give thanks to the guides and the guardians of the West for their emotional healing and compassion. I release and give thanks to the guides and the guardians of the South for their courage to do that work. And I release and give thanks to the guides and the guardians of the East for their clarity. And I thank all of you with so much love and gratitude. Thanks for letting me lead you through such a powerful ritual. And thanks for catching me on the replay. It ended up and was home without, I was gonna do a past life regression for somebody this morning, a virtual one. And then that just, when I do those, it really does drain my energy and take everything. And I wasn't gonna be able to do ritual after that. Ended up, couldn't do that today. So I was like, well, I could go live now, but ended up I couldn't go live because we've been running all day. My husband's got sorghum out on like 100 acres still. He's trying to get up, and we're just running into every complication that you can imagine. So I am the one running back and forth to town nonstop, getting the parts, and it's kind of been a mess. So thank you for your patience with me and accepting the pre-record, because a live just isn't going to happen today. So with so much love and gratitude, I love you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in our community soon.